introduce it.
Whew. Hi guys, this is Radikal from Radikal. As usual, today I'm going to casually play Radikal online while waiting for episode 4, which going to hit pretty much release on 5th August. And with the same case of they also introduced. Yep. Yeah. On the other hand, the emergency quest will begin in approximately 9 more minutes. So,
Which quest would you like?
pretty much I'm going to talk about what's currently happening. You know, so many interesting things happens on the Phantasy Star 2. First of all, the release of New Genesis on the 2021 on both. I think it's like pretty much all consoles, which spread it over different regions. For examples, the Japan's will has the PS5, or like PlayStations will be releasing on PlayStation consoles and it's Switch, while the Xbox will be released on the North America versions. PC will be released on both versions. So yeah, PC Master Race. Everyone who has PC on it doesn't have to be worried. You just have to see which version that released faster. So it will be Japan first and then US, or maybe simultaneous release. We're gonna have to wait that news. Probably on 2021 to be exact. What the hell? Yeah. Okay, going to the okay. Okay, going to finish the.
Okay,
Ready?
let's get to it.
Going to time attack for doing the urgent quest, and yeah, talking about the PSO2. lots of things are happening, and yeah, one of them is the new Genesis. People have been talking about, comparing stuff, or wondering what can be bought, maybe keep you can keep to the from PSO2 to the new Genesis. We're going to talk about it on next notifications, and yeah, my reactions for the games. First of all, I mean, kind of mixed, kind of like Bloomer to be exactly. So I'm kind of worried, because back then the PSO2 has this, lots of games, other games, other than PSO2. One of them is PSO2 ESs, and then there is the Idola, Fantasy Saga. Yeah, it's like those game that's related to the Phantasy Star 2, and those are not the main games. While on the other hand, I'm also lacking in updates on the PSO2 news in general, especially in Japan servers where they talk about a lot of things. I think, iya sibuk, jadi sibuk, banyak kerjaan, terus akhirnya baru bisa streaming sekarang. Halo Joel, welcome, welcome. Yeah, yeah, the new Genesis is going to be good after I'm kind of again, first of all, it's not, I mean, kind of misjudge it. I thought it was like, okay, it's one of those spin-offers, nothing to look at. Yeah, the game is going to be like, okay, we're going to release this as a one-times. Yeah, making looks cool, and then that's it. It's a offline game. So again, I just have realized that it's actually a correct sequels from the Phantasy Star 2 Saga. And yep, there is still number 2 in it because Phantasy Star Online 2 is just so big. The franchise is just so damn big that the developer or my publisher itself is just like, okay, rather than we just remake the title as a Fantasy Online Phantasy Star 3, we just make it to Fantasy Online 2, insert stuff, because we're going to make it for like an expansions. We already milked people's huge loads of money for gacha. Why don't we milk other people some other more, by just purposely releasing an expansion? So yeah, there we go, New Genesis. Based on the trailers, the game will be pretty much similar, except that it's going to be much mobile, which I think it's more of a the directions where the game's heading to. Yeah, after episodes, I think it's like after episode 3. After episode 3's the Phantasy Star Online 2 just releasing lots of skills. Maybe in this case, after Bravers, they released the Bouncers. Bouncers is like very mobile classes. Even though Summoner is not quite mobile, it's still like manageables. They can able to move freely, while their pets doing lots of damages. So yeah, like pseudo mobile classes. Then yeah, episode 5 they released the first successors, or in this case a Scion class on the North America server. So the Scion class pretty much inherits all the dreams that the players had back then when they played a class that is highly immobile. In general, is just so bad that you just let every enemy lands their punches to you in the game, when your enemy can pretty much deal a huge amount, tons amount damage, and some enemies will just one-shot you even though you had the best gears on. So yeah, in the end, these the future classes is just emphasis on mobilities. Pretty much all of them, I guess. Heroes, really fast, has lots of iframes, continue buttons, aka the hero times, and then we got Phantoms again. Very mobility class, high mobility class. Pretty much like the Rangers with parallel slider type O on steroids. Then the last one will be Etoile. Etoile is like a dream when the melee class is actually able to attack while moving. Last time I look at it, the best choices for that will be the bouncers with the twin saber, but that's just about it. The fighters dual daggers were relatively slow. Yeah, it has some mobilities in it, but it's not that reliable. Partisans is also kind of Braver is pretty much a counter class, kind of not count. And then the last one is a I think this is pretty much that. The bouncers jet boots is pretty much a mix between melee and tech. It's most likely going to use it for techs anyway. New Genesis, I think this will be there will be like a huge revamp on the games. I don't know if they keep the name or the class systems, whether they introduce the new classes system, because on the trailers, the hero, aka the Ashu, has the ability to change from the swords into rifles. And on PSO2 rules, that means you need to have a subclasses on so those set classes, whether you have rangers subclasses or maybe you are hunters, maybe you're rangers who have a hunter subclasses. I think this is going to be fun. FF14 itu dia subscription base. Jadi FF14 itu mau tidak mau Anda harus purchase expansion and then subscription plan, and then you enjoy the story. Speaking about FF14, it's still one of the best, has one of the best stories, especially on the Shadowbringers. It's just too good. I think I'm on the same board as lots of the reviewers. It's one of the best story Final Fantasy ever made in the last years. I mean, so far the stories that I love would be the tactics, and then followed by 12, and just skip to Final Fantasy 14. At first it's like the Heavensward is good, and then the Shadowbringers kind of too many politics, but it's still good. Nevertheless, it's still good. It's not as confusing as the Realm Reborn. And then it's like Shadowbringer, and then just go like, okay, screw everything, screw politics. I mean, there is a politics as well, but it's the stories of it has pretty much the same formula as the usual FF14. Let it fit up. I mean, lots of game has a merit features. Merit features. But the stories, the story is just so good. The one that actually has a good story, the free games actually has a good story, I think. Kind of close would be Blade and Souls. Again, that's an old game, and I don't think they have worked on the story as good as before. So it's still the Shadowbringers would be my best recommendation if you want to have good stories. Still considered very expensive due to the subscription. So you gotta make it count. But even the side quest on the Shadowbringers story is still very good. It has good qualities. Pretty much didn't. I don't like the gameplay that much. Kind of bring me to sleep, but the story is just so good. And I think it's like if you want to see a good MMORPG stories in it, Final Fantasy 14 Shadowbringers is a must. It's just too good to pass up. Okay, okay, back to the PSO2. So, yeah, the New Genesis, I bet will have a different system for the currency, the economy, class systems, weapon system. Again, even the status systems, I believe, because on PSO2 later on it's very easy, you know, to crank up your stat. You just make your character OP so bad. Yeah, it makes other setups is just doesn't worth getting. So I'm just going to give an example. So on episode 4 there you will find a ring that increase your critical damage, I mean critical chances, that can be upgraded to a level 20s, which in general give you amounts of good criticals, corrects, and then those rings can be enhanced to a units. So instead of just having 2 rings and then that's all about it, you can have multiple rings because of that safe feature. For examples, ray units, the one that can be easily obtained back then. It's just everywhere, like candies. You can get the ray units. Once you get one, you can use it, enhance it to certain parts, and then it has a features that make you able to attach the rings to your unit. So you can have multiple rings. So you can have multiple rings, and that give you a slight advantages. And yeah, and though the features, it's free to all. I mean, everyone can be OP as hell. Yeah, at some point, I think things like that, and then we got to start bloating by having lots of plus 100s on each unit. Yeah, it's just crank up your characters too much. It makes it too OP even at some points. Yeah, I know it does not matter that much on the image difficulty. Ku tak punya PS4, Bapak Joel, jadi ku tak bisa stream Ghost of Tsushima. But I have other game that I would like to stream, or maybe having a content of it. It's called Hellpoints. It's an indie game, resemble Dark Souls. It's going to be released on tomorrow. So yeah, on tomorrow I'm going to try and then see, you know, whether the game is worth buying. It's relatively cheap, and panas. Ganggu. Nope. Still spamming Elder Rebellion till the end. As simple as that. Yeah. Talking about the blood stats. Yeah, at some point, I know at some point it is easy for you, you know, to get a plus 100 attacks due to your weapon. Later on, at 14, maybe 15 stars, you get ridiculous amounts of attack damage that makes those bonus like so insignificant, but still circuit volcanic casing. Point strike. Right, so gonna yeah, again, talking about the contents and the loaded stats. Yeah, I think it's pretty much make lots of builds. Is mainly because why do you need others have status if your attack was just sky high and then have at least 80%, minimum of 80% critical chances? It's bull crap. It's just bull crap, and at some point, I think it's getting out of controls. Yeah, the status is never getting out of controls. Yeah, it's pretty much like, okay, other abilities are insignificant. You just have to put everything on the basic attack, SR, or maybe tech attacks, and then there is a souls, and then enhancements, and then duplicates. I mean, yep, the enhancement status that further or maybe gave a 20% increase to the overall attacks. I think it's pretty much going to give you around 80, maybe even 100. And then those weapons or units at 40, maybe 50 stars can be further augmented. There is like each of them has a specific type of slots that can be filled, and yeah, alongside with rings, of course, makes them a very that benefits. Look at that! Wow, nice. And I guess Mr. Bertacus, sir. Yeah. Also, speaking about the equipments and the Meseta, in PSO2, it's not that hard to grind money actually in Meseta if you have dedication. I'm not talking about 24/7. I have to grind everything 24/7 because, yeah, only to get 1 million. Nope, you can get pretty much very fast 1 millions with like 10 per week, 10 million per week, be like 20 if you're trying hard enough. By simply having a multiple outs. Why? Because weekly and daily quests are not account wide, so they just character wide, which means that the more characters you have, the easier for you to just repeatedly doing quest. Yeah, the easier for you to repeatedly doing a quest that give you tons amounts of meseta and item and stuff. I think the achievements, or maybe it's like the counts, let's just say the events are account wide, but as far as I know, the experience point that you get from the weekly and daily are character wise instead of account wise. So yeah, it's just, you can just repeat those quests, or maybe at some point, and when you've done everything, you can just farm the very hard advanced quests, and especially on the floating facilities, AFK farm using launchers. Boom, you can get those badges relatively quick, which adds maximum stack, give you 500k, yeah, per stacks, maximum stacks. Kind of grindy, but yeah, it's still relatively, the drop still relatively easy. So yeah, I don't think it's really become a problem for it. So yeah, that's why the meseta on the economy in general on Online 2 is kind of bloated. But luckily, barely seen anyone trying to monopolize the weapons, because yeah, I don't think it's going to be their focus anyway. Yeah, the goals on this game is to have as many costumes possible, not to become a superhuman samurai, or in this case a omnipotent things by hoarding equipment. Yes, you can be as strong as hell, but in the end, I think it's like the major status pretty much come from your weapons. And the weapons kind of easy to drop, though the hard part is just to affixing. And while they're hard, it's actually not that tedious. You don't have to grind like years like Black Desert to get a small amounts of achievement. Nope. Yeah, if you're dedicated enough, you can pretty much getting in like a month. You can literally become really powerful in terms of gears and characters in terms of months by having a multiple accounts and then grinding stuff. As for selling items, maybe you were lucky, you find something, so you have a costume that you can make, you don't want, and you want to replace will buy it. You can trade the X Cube for the My Shop Pass, a 3-day My Shop Pass. Yeah, the drop rate is kind of low, but then again, the X Cube is pretty much everywhere when you're at the higher level. So I don't think it will be a problem to just gacha everything and then get the shops and then set everything and then that's it. Just wait because the shop lasts forever. So when the shop pass ends, the only thing that you can do is to enlist another items. But you can still able to retrieve the amounts of meseta you earn from selling 8 items. So yeah, that's the point. Is like it's still win-win. Yeah, I think that's the reason why they don't transfer your meseta to the New Genesis. Instead, they keep the SG and the AC. Yeah, that's just like the currencies that the PSO2 have, and I don't think there is a way to monopolize them at this moment. The only thing that you can get from the SG is to either buy or maybe buy a costume from players or maybe from the gacha pools. It's kind of relative, and then doing some events which give you a tons amounts of SG. The NA is kind of generous about this. They keep giving the events that give you enough SG, and there is also a titles. Yeah, if you finish the stories, you can get yourself another SG, which yeah, quite a lot. I mean, I got 1,000, more than 1,000. I kind of spend it over the costume again, costume master race. There is no one to. Yeah. Again, the main goals in the game is to have a good looking character, as good as possible, while yeah, the how destructive characters are based on your skills. I mean, the item does matters, but this is an action games, to be honest. You can just tank everything unless you pretty much over level that set creatures, that set monsters. Yeah, you will get pulverized in a couple of hits. Already been there, done that. Having a ridiculous amount of defense. Still got breach out. Nuts. Which is why, yeah, I'm still believe that PSO2 are more of individual skills rather than just pure playing gears. I got plus 35 weapons, plus 10 units at the most highest rank. That means I instantly win over anything by myself. Nope, it doesn't work in here, my friends. One hit, one good hit, especially from the later episodes, and you're done. You and your characters were done. Though you're on the same levels, because the yeah, each of them has this deal lots of amount of damage, and the Sega developer likes making the play suffers because they love it. So yeah, each episodes the enemies are getting really tougher. Many of them are not as static as the early episodes. If talking about the 1, 2, 3, when the enemy was just going to stare at you and then initiate attack. Stare at you, initiate attack, or maybe they're going to attack from afar, but they have really long preparations. And yeah, I think it's like the around episode 4, the enemies start to move way more faster, and some of them has the slow delay. I mean, it's like little to no delay between attacks, which kind of annoying, especially on the episode 5 on the Omega. Omega is like the trials by fire for those people who just having too much of comfort fighting the older types of enemy, since they barely move and they serve as a target practices. Instantly turn into walking thingy of destruction. It's very, very annoying. And really, really not recommended to finding them unprepared. Stupid orcs and their Grim Reapers is just so bad. Yeah, again, that's also the main reason why they create, like, Sega create lots of PA that makes the characters mobile. I think Ranger got their first rework before. They used to be like a lot of less mobiles, and then the Gunner games, they pretty much took the Ranger spotlights, because back then I don't think they have moving standing snipe and then the moving snipe. Those things are not existed yet. Yeah, pretty much what you can do is just spamming your launchers point, because it does better job than your rifles. And then as these layers, they just simply add the RRL sliders type zeros, and yeah, things get, and yeah, not to mention the moving and then standing snipes, and yeah, the things goes back like they've ever been, except that this time the Rangers are very, very mobiles when they use the RL slider type 0. The type 0 itself, you will get those around episode 4, I guess, when the craftings and when they enable the crafting features. I think they also include pretty much every single skills, the type 0 skills that are available. Yeah, because the client that we have right now is pretty much the update versions of the it's like the claims, like, and yeah,
What's going on?
okay, so I think going to, okay, there we go, episode 4. I'm going to see what we have. Okay, let's see what's new. Global access for additional recon. I think it's more of a Steam release. Global access for additional 30. My countries are not included. Screw you. Screw you. Player cap increased to 18. Yeah. So when the player caps will increase to 18, you will get also another skills. These points. Oh, let's see. Have some examples. Go. And
What you like to do?
learn class skills. So this sections over here is actually, there is other type skills over here that are meant to be open once the classes reach level 18 and then 85 up to 95. At level 18, gunners will get an abilities that increase the rolling PA. Yeah, rolling PA attack. So for those who doesn't know, gunners has this choices to use when they use a rolling attack. So if you press the rolling attack, normal attack during rolls, yes, special rolls, not just the shift buttons that make your character rolls, not the special rolls, the gunner rolls. This case, not dive roll, this one. Stylish rolls, okay. That's the good word for that. The stylish, if you use a stylish roll and then press the normal attacks, the gunners will use the normal attacks and then restore PP, the bottom points, while they rolls. So if you use the photons attacks while doing the stylish rolls, you still doing the attacks, but larger damage, but it drains PP instead of giving you bottom points. And yeah, the special abilities will be unlocked over here. It will further increase your damage and makes your PA attacks, PA rolls attacks area. So this my build is actually building toward that. That's why I is having a spare of these points. And yeah, the reason why I don't invest point blank while other gunners in core just to do yeah, because the damage bonuses is just too good to pass up. Yep, indeed. Yeah, I'm more of the type of gunners who stay AFK in the air while dealing a stable amounts of damage due to the show times. I invest everything on show times in photon points, and then faster gear gains, which also increase my damage as well. And then you get chain triggers, full chain triggers. So maxing chain triggers will make you able to doing these rotations, the chain attack rotations, getting full damages, and then yeah, the cooldown will just be like 10 seconds or 30 seconds when you have almost full charges. And yeah, in that times you can make up for the lost damages that you missed because you don't use any point blank. Like it's pretty much a win-win solution. Having a distance is gone, and then roll PA, and then yeah, roll PA, and then chain finish using a chain triggers, and then show times. That my damage there, so yeah, it's going to be good. Okay, and then moving. Okay, new arcs. I mean, photon arcs technique level on the obvious. Skill available. Yeah, told you. You're going to see PvP battle in the battle arena. So, the next updates will introduce a PvP battles. For those who doesn't know, PSO2 have an actual PvP battle, but it's not what you think. It's not like, okay, I'm going to gear up and then just wipe everything while staying AFK in the air because I'm a god, or maybe I just subclass a hunter because that makes me invincible. It doesn't work like that. So the PvP is more like a team battle royale thing. So on PSO2, when you goes to PvP, you will get this pin between team 1 and then team 2, and then you need to mine, or you just found weapons that you can equip, and then just beat up people to death. Just that. Simple as that. Yeah. I don't think it won't be any simpler. Then, hey, why New Genesis? Go. New PSO friend list. Steam. Character slot maximum earning class 2. So many outs, so many mass atomic. Okay. New arc mission. Yep, it's on. New mission, obviously. Universal ship Belana. Yep, that's one. Bonus quest for huge amounts of XP, meseta, and material items. New seasonal events. New alliance quarter into Tokyo battleship. So yeah, it's kind of obvious that the next episode will be taking part on Earth. Fighting ship. Fighter planes. Snake.
The large-scale operation has ended. Thank you for your support.
Moon Queen. And a snake god. The giant snake god. And the girls who can destroy a tower with just a single kick. Yep, I think that's all about it. Before we enter the episode 5, which going to be even more obvious. Sure. PSO2 logic. Okay, new arcs mission. Yep, it's going to take part in Tokyo and then Las Vegas. Because you guys already seen the urgent quest before. Obvious Las Vegas. Not Bekasi. No. Las Vegas. And then Universal the Alliance quarters, a character from the anime. Yep. If you watch the anime series, which I like the most, I prefer the Oracle episodes instead of the cool one, because why? And then setting new titles to learn. Yep, I'm going to learn the titles. arena. Here. New arena to explore. Preview your purchase in it. Yep. Nice. Then your materials automatically. Yeah, because material does not exist in this episode yet. Season 6 of the mission. Obviously not going to miss. Crafting. There we go. This is the most important part. Yeah, that actually introduced in episode 2. But again, this is an server, so they have to jump it down to episode 4, whatever the reason is. Okay. Crafting, blah 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 blah. Yep. Rewrite the basic values of units. So, the craftings on the PSO2 allow you to rewrite the status that give you a boost of in specific amounts of status, but at cost of increasing the threshold. For examples, let's see my circle units. I don't know if you could craft the plus 12 armor units, because back then I remember I used my not Circuray, what's the name? See. There we go. Psyche. Yep, I was using Psyche back then, and I enhanced it and increasing the defense while adding more potent points to it. Gives more PP. That's yeah. Give me pretty much plus 15, and then plus the enhancement itself. Kind of give me a huge potent points in the end. That's really good. Really nice. I don't know if you can do it in unit rank 12 because they were the OP enough. Let's see. Custom ability, speed, potency of photon art. So, aside from crafting the units, your characters will able to craft, modify the techniques as well, increasing the efficiency. In this case, if you use a, let's just say, I forget the name, man. Yeah, if you use things like shift the band, you can fast its ticks, meaning that it will tick faster, which will be very useful if you use on tight situation. In this case, if you're on solo missions and you want to raise your attacks fast, you can use those enhanced shifter. Did you understand that? Yeah, the photon arts, like I said before, there is a type 0 on several photon arts that's kind of give you pros and cons. Not all type 0s like going to outmatch the normal one. Also, don't worry, because you can still able to use the normal versions. It's just going to add as a different PA on your shortcut list. Don't worry. And then every time bleed to unit. Yep. That ones, yeah, this is pretty much like units, the extended versions of the unit craftings. Dismantle unwanted items, yeah. So if your max can't eat any more weapons and still got like so much crap, you can dismantle every single one of them, turning into materials, and then you can store those materials to a storage, and then you can use those materials to do interesting stuff. Daily crafting order will arrive. Restrict crafting from other operating. Yep, I think Sick will be happy. Lots of learning. Let's explore. Yeah, this one. Nope. Still get it. Hit yourself against. Oh, this one. Kind of remind that there is a single weapons camo that I love. It was a crossbow, and it spawned on the Omega during the Omega missions. Very good. I think weapon batch 3. Kind of outdated, but still gonna need the abilities to it. New collection 4. This one bullet refulgio, spill refulgio. Mine is bullet refulgio. DTM. It's very good. For now it's good, and many people sell it at the relatively cheap price. So yeah, I'm just like, what the hell not? They will be getting flooded of these type of weapons. Well, I do think that the 14 stars will really start to appear during the episode 4s. I don't know. And technically, the 13 stars starting appears to the episode 5. Episode 4, it's still relatively on the 12, I guess. It's 12 stars on GP, and then yeah, on episode 5 we start getting 13. So kind of sad, you know. I didn't get any Enferadinares, which is one of the collectors folders on the episode 5. Instead we get the Refulgio, the one that we already got right now. Radikal, see this one. So long story short, your character goes to Earth again. You're gonna meet peoples, bulldozers, snake train, moon queen, larger snake boss, and a girl who can destroy tower with a single kick. Yep, episode 4 in summary. That's all about it. Okay. So moving on to the next topics. I'm going to talk about this one, New Genesis. Oh yeah, with lots of experience on the PSO2, gonna debunk lots of things that is yeah, new thing that people talk about all over the place. New Genesis, a one-of-a-kind games that really grabbed my attention on the second day, not the first day. I thought it was just, you know, one times only. It's like, oh, the PSO2 we're using Xenoblade Chronicles teams, console exclusive, so it's going to be on the Xbox, having a single player story, blah 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 blah. Done. Okay, that's all about it, and then we go back to PS2 until 2000. Nope, they're going to upgrade their games, overhauls pretty much everything, because the game is already 8 years old, for God's sake. It's still good, but it's not that good anymore. So yeah, kind of. No, at some point they need a facelift. And NGS, Nintendo Genesis. Relationship with current PSO2. Yeah, I know about this. I just read about it. This marked as the, I think, like the upgrades, but at some point they're going to keep the PSO2 as well. So they were going to be like 2 different games, the PSO2 and then the PSO New Genesis, and your characters can go back and forth between the New Genesis and the PSO2. Lots of things we're going to. Yeah, this is what generals. Hey, we got a good game. Looks. Go try it. Change the game system. Blah blah blah. Blah the different game engine. So they just tell to us that the PSO2 is a new game. Moving on. This one, and this is one of the most important things. Say before, items that obtain PSO2 cannot be used in PSO2 New Genesis. Skill ring, conserve battle, growth, enhancement, boost items, materials, and further. That means you can say goodbye to your Rappy furnitures, rock bear statues that everyone gets and bitch. I don't know, because the above information is subject to change. Probably boost items is going to be not going to be carried over, because you can easily hoard those. For God's sake, each day you get 100% free boost, and then there is the 50% free boost. and you can buy the XP boost for like something barely insignificant. It's going to be out. Skill rings is one of the features that part mistake, part upgrades, but 60% mistakes. OP who needs other skills, we can just grab ring that give you criticals, and then you can just grab another rings that give you criticals in things and then attach it to the unit. Bam! Insta OP. I mean, not that OP, but you're still doing ridiculous amounts of damage whatsoever. Yeah, this is pretty much the reason why lots of characters were just like absurdly powerful later on. Thank you, Unit 12, and their skill attachments. Regarding Radikal curse growth, HC and SD can be used in 2 NG PSO. So yeah, many people were saying on the internet, is it worth playing PSO2? For now, I mean, there is new games, Horizon, wait, and then play it once. It's the point. The point is to grind out those AC and SG, and then yeah, there's a debates whether the costumes will be bringing over because they didn't say it, because the characters data and stuff will be carried over, but they didn't mention. It's like the costume, you will get the costumes carried over, not just character specific characters, emotes and data will be carrying over. I think this is because some of those costumes are collaboration based, so they just work together with some anime or maybe some outsides publishers. Maybe they has some deals with them, so it's going to affect things on the futures. I don't know, but yeah, this I mean AC and SG, and then AC and SG will be confirmed so that you can get can be transferred from PSO2 to the New Genesis, but the emotes and the costumes will be the main problems. I'm not very sure that every single costume will be transferred. As for the PSO2 original costumes that doesn't have any relation with the collaboration, I'm sure they will be getting transferred even if they get labeled as a old costume, just like the old weapon system on the GP servers. Yeah, maybe it's like, okay, this costume will be less shiny than the new one because they use the better textures and thingy, while the old one we just transfer it one to one and with the upgraded graphics. Yeah, I don't think it's going to be as good as the new costumes, but yeah, one can only hope. And some costume is just already good on that we use right now. It's just too good. This is like my cool robots over there, which get covered in half, yeah, by the X, whatever. Yeah, so the example element character growth that not shared level XP class skill photon art techniques. Obviously, most of these is going to get reworked, just like we see before. The rifles dash is going to be more fluid, so no more slider zeros needed, because again, it's just too good not to use those skills. I don't think there is like any sane people will not using slider type 0 on their rangers for any reasons, because yeah, I think it's like it's a core skill. It's not as damaging as satellite aims or those charging skills, but in the end, it's still a good mobility skills. You get the bonuses like the the standing snipes, because the skill literally make you stand on the ground, but you are having the ability to hover, so it's not count as a moving one, which is really good. Just stupidly good. You keep all those bonuses, we're able to move around. It's just top tier. Okay, needs to have. All arts and techniques. Yeah, probably most of them is going to get reworks. I was like, whether regarding, do we have more classes than just those three core classes? Pohura, oh, Hunter, Ranger, and then the. Why I almost always forget. I'm just like I remember Techers, but I always forget the last one. Let's see. Force. It's as simple as that. It's a Force, Hunters, and then Rangers. It's pretty much a core class that you get from the PSO1 episodes. It's pretty much a core class that you're getting all along. Maybe in 1,000 years they don't have a class anymore. They're just like, okay, you use gun, so you're going to be Ranger. I mean, you use rifles, you're going to be Rangers. You use twin machine gun, oh great, so you're a gunner now. Instead of just going to switch class into this one, you're gonna switch class into that one, you're gonna switch class into this one. I don't know. I'm going to have to see an update of that. Probably near futures, if the PSO2 is going to be released like early years, like mid years. Chances that we going to see the informations about this is going to be I think it's like there is a press conference about on GP servers. They're going to pretty much get those New Gen. Yeah, let's move on. Regarding weapons unit and max. Weapon units and max, they pretty much carryovers. Their function abilities and abilities will be continuous. I don't care about the appearances, since most likely there will be weapon camos as well, but the functions and abilities is the one that I'm concerned about. I don't know, the developer aims at designing the new online too. On the first, I don't know the current aims for the developers, because I don't think the PSO2 affect systems pretty much nailed it, because they pretty much refrain from the old systems. The current FX is the old system. Thank God, I just using a sensor system for. Thank you for the text. Okay, yeah, let's pretend that doesn't happen, because everything just happened on the left side, and it's being covered by my awesome web browser. It's being cropped things about information about New Genesis weapons. Yeah, gotta worry about the FX system. They didn't even tell, where they carried the 1-to-1, they carried the normal affix, where you can just being freaking OP. I mean, early games, even without the bonus skills, you can just stack souls and then the attacks bonuses, and then you get hefty amounts of bonus, 100 somethings, and then just bloat your attacks and kick everything on the moon, because your damage will just nuts. The tree buff give you 20%, and then the premium drinks give you large buff as well, and then you get Shifta. Boom! All attack buff getting smacked with the status of you get from Summoner, plus 200s, on the all damages, plus 200 all defenses. It's just nuts. Units same. I think it's like invincible, not visible. Yep, just going to fashions above everything else. Priority units might not be equable until the character reaches certain levels. Yeah, it's pretty much the same as the weapons. Maybe they prevent you to get OP as early as possible, just like on PSO2. Okay, I'm at level 1. Okay, let's use a level 1 weapon that has pretty much every core affixes that you can get. Okay, plus 80 range attack on the twin machine guns at level 1. Yes, there is an actual weapon like that. I use it on the JP servers to eat everything, because once you use that, your attack get pumped up at the point that you can tear the enemy at normal rank and they just disappear. Yeah, not wise, not good. It's going to be just content stomp. And Mac, on top Mac with PSO2, Age of Valor, everything that I've been. Okay, so yeah, I think it's like the Mac is one of the reasons why not many people want to have branches in their characters, because they have to purchase Macs all over the place, and at the same time they need to have their Mac have a focus on a specified stance, instead of just, okay, I'm going to give you this, give you that, give you this, give you that, and then I'm going to make you a hybrid Mac. Nope, that's not going to happen, because the bonus status is just too minimum for you to have it. So instead of being that, you need to have a specific type of Macs to be so your characters get a proper booster status classes on specific classes. For examples, if you want gunners, then your mech need to eat at least a rifle, or maybe just something that gives you pure air attacks. That's the only options. You cannot get other options. If you get it, then your mech are deemed to fail, which means you have to restart the mechs by feeding them reset levels and stuff. And yeah, it can cost a lot. Available platform. Playing for release for Windows 10, Xbox One. Price free to play. Ha! I think the price. Sega is already confident with their gameplay systems, payment systems, not to, but yeah, systems in general. Because PSO2 is one of the games that's free to play but fair. It's free and fair. Even though you're undergeared, it's still fair, because your skill matters a lot. Your individual skill matters a lot over your gears. Sure, you're able to breach like higher level contents, maybe like kill everything by yourself solo because you have a really good gear, but you cannot just having a good gear and then that's all about it, because your individual skills and the understandings on the class does matter. That's what makes the PSO2 one of the, in my opinion, one of the best games, the best action RPG games ever have. Again, it's free. It's based on your individual systems. The cosmetics are good, and then you can create your own symbol, even though any of them end up being porn or something. Yeah, it gives you good amounts of freedom contents over here. That's what matters. That's what matters. Nope. Let's see. About him. Ah, there we go. Returning player, which member? Oh. Turn to encourage. Returning to qualify. Obviously, I'm going to get those SGs because I'm a good player. Good player. Very, very good player. Okay, that's pretty much about the. Give me a second. Okay, that's pretty much the information that I can share about the PSO2 Episode 4 and the New Genesis. I'm so hyped about the New Genesis, but Episode 4 not that much, because I'm still gathering resources that I needed to max the potentials of the hero. Okay, the Scion class is being released on 5. Be released, I think it's like soon enough, due to the roadmaps that the Sega NA, it said that the episode 4 and 5 will be released in a very close dates. Probably, I think will be like a month or two before the episode 5 will be released, and that's the where I'm going to be nuts about the class, because again, hero is one of my favorite class. It covers pretty much everything that I wanted, especially the TMG, and the Scion class cannot be paired with any other classes except if you use the Scion class as a subclass, and this doesn't affect Hero. Hero cannot be used as a subclass, but Phantom and Toil it can be used as a subclass. And again, using them as a subclass is kind of mainly because they're kind of unique, you know, when you use them as the main class. Because the class itself has a different type of gameplay when compared with the basic classes such as Bouncer, Ranger, and Gunner, and etc. They may use the same weapons, but the playstyles are very different, which make them a really good and unique class, kind of must to have. Okay, so enough about the information. Naberius Advanced Dash, Apon Goof. I think I'm going to kill someone on.
I look forward to your next visit.
Hey. I have to appraise weapon first. My storage is almost explode.
Leave it to me.
By the way, if someone were ask is like what versions does the game use at the NA server, there's a difference from the I can't say for sure, but kind of bet that the NA server version are similar to the current GP versions. The different things is that the contents, they pretty much unlock the contents that isn't available just yet, because as you can see, this one, let's see, there's this add unit skill. Add unit skill is the features that transfer the skill rings to the units. Transfer as great augment, not yet as well. And then we got the switch potentials. Switch potentials, we got bullet revolution, we get uses to delicate undertaking, enhancement, and people. There we go, arena boosters, the item that is not existed for this weapon, but it's already existed in the game because the game actually has that features, but it's still being locked due to, I don't know, the languages or maybe programming thingy. Yeah, so kind of positive that the game versions that the NA use are similar to the game version that they use at the GP.
Which quest would you like?
They just kind of change the lobby themes and then lock some of the features. At some point, I think that the NA wants to catch up with the GP, making them, you know, like 1.1. Maybe it's like, okay, we're going to have a week late updates. The GP will have updated their contents a week earlier than us, but I don't think it's going to be that long. They just want to make parts with the GP. Let's see. Okay.
Which quest would you like?
Remember, ultimate class. I don't like the Lipa. I don't like it. I'm just going to have simply going to the ultimates. Naberis. I like the bosses. You can bully the bosses in here. Who doesn't like bullying other people? And I'm alone. Took the air. Kill one. Water alone. Okay, let's see. Search for other blocks. Oh, what? Okay. Everyone in them. Okay, delay by this. Position we want this player. Even I'm on standard gears, I'm still able to topple the ultimate contents by myself. Takes forever. That's why I don't. I don't like to just go alone. Ultimate quest is episode 4. I mean episode 3. Realized, but then again, the previous ultimate quest is actually a real type of quest. So instead of having you able to go freely between areas, the first ultimate quest system is just carrying you toward the A to Z. While I still remember that you will fight the Gull Griffins on the ultimate quest on the end of the line, and yeah, it's everyone will just go there eventually and then beat Gull Griffin. Before then, they have to beat the yeah, those darker thingy that's going to every change attribute, Pangda, yeah, something like that, and then before that they're going to beat the giant birds. Then still remember the Gull Griffins thingy. Oh my god, it's just so PSO1, and the boss is so easy because 12 people were hitting at him, and then the wings broke and it did. This is that. This is that. Okay, so yeah, so yeah, this is what my main strategy to my build to use. Less close distance, more on long range. You can mark the enemy and having a very short cooldown. You get 50% damages, 10% damage to enemy around them. It's still a win-win. At some point, my Elder Rebellion still kick ass. Hurricane her. Thank you. Much bro. And to be honest, my specs were very easy in terms of survivals. At that point, you don't need to rely on the hunters, because yeah, I mean hunters is pretty much a good subclass for pretty much every class out there due to those two skills. The Iron Will and then one more that give you a God of War modes, allow you to survive at 1 point HP over any conditions unless your cats block your power cables. Yeah, the skill is just so good. It's just too good that it give you a 75% chances to survive over a single HP. All you need is just to raise your maximum HP to more than 1 to trigger the skills again, because it doesn't have any cooldown whatsoever. That's what make it a very, very good skills.
Congratulations on completing the objective.
Completed.
It's not that bad. New setup. Fix it. Good job, guys. Good job. At least I can see the screen.
Emergency!
Oh yeah.
Emergency. Code. Disaster.
Marking targets. And since PSO2 has an auto aim function, makes me even more easier to target everything from above. Oh yeah, the Gundam thing. Watch out for the missiles.
Emergency!
Change over. Code. You.
Shh. Dial small fries.
Nice one! You did it!
Completed.
How many bullets?
Whoa! Please be careful!
Let's see the bosses in this. If this panggang that's, I'm out. There you go. There you go.
Emergency. Code. You.
Woo! Told you. It's a cheating thing. It's AFK. Yeah, this is why Sega wants to change their combat systems. Scaling to punishing for certain kind of class. On the other class, it's just plain bullshit. PSO2 This is why I don't use the close range system anymore, because long range is just full of BS to begin.
Objective complete.
Yeah. Almost zero damage. Barely any effort whatsoever.
Completed.
Okay, I think that's pretty much for today's stream. Yeah, there's barely anything
Welcome.
new. That's why kinda don't. Oh, there's it. Barely got anything I want to say. Everything's still left the same. Want to say hi. Been a while since my last stream, so any good refreshing. Giving information while I learn at the same time. Yeah, this was just another routine. Another routine. Good cop, bad cop routines. Oh yeah, by the way, going to do one short. Oh, there we go. Underground chef. Fish 15 times. Underground chef. Going to have a very good tips about ring craftings. Rule number 1: always begin with fishing. But if you want to look for the rare fishing components, then do the reverse. Come my harem. So yeah, always if you want to focus on gathering mats, do fishing first, wait until beavers, and then do the wait until fevers and then do the main. If the game simply wants you to find something on the fishings, do the harvesting first, wait until fevers, and then do the fishings. Go. Go. Oh, Lily Pad Fest. Lucky me, lucky. And then fishing. And bring partners, because some pesky enemies might try to hit you while you're doing your things, even especially on the fevers. Very annoying. Don't hit players while doing fevers. No, that's like spots. No. No. I keep getting shrimp. Must be a shrimp merchant. So long, shrimp. Shrimp. Oh, conch. Not a shrimp. Conch. Conch. Shrimp. 5 more and I will be done. Looking at the mission pass. There we go. Already full. Yes, time to harvest them before the new week comes and then resets everything later on. Right now, the best way is to mission. Take on this enhanced weapon or units. My favorite card.
I'm gonna give it my best shot. I did it. That's what I call a big success.
At episode 1 I had Dudu, but then again, later episode I had Monica even more.
What would you like to do?
Lots of failed
Stop by
attempts, of
anytime.
course.
Feel free to stop by anytime.
And complete eating, which is going to be cream of a crop. Cream of a crop.
Drop by anytime.
Whew. Lots of quests done. For daily missions. Yep, that's how you get an XP. Lots of XP.
I've been expecting
Lots of money, lots of XP. Lots of money in the bank. Okay, that's pretty much that I have right now. Going to update as soon as the episode 4. It's trying to make a content already, but don't expect much. Going to be more focused because it's kind of a busy one for me. Jobs, real life, things to do. So yeah, I'm just going to wait and gonna have to wait until episode 5 hits, and then yeah, I'm gonna pour everything at that point. Going to make my hero a proper heroes that do everything do with the TMG. Fight everything, brah, brah. Sweet good old memories. Okay, time to say goodbye. Thank you very much for watching the streams. See you again next time. This is Radikal from So Radikal. See you guys next time again. Yeah.